All right, mommies, listen up because Texas just raised the stakes on custody interference. So they now have a three-strike rule, meaning 3 strikes of custody interference and you're out. Or I guess in this case, actually in state jail for a felony.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and today we are taking a look at single mothers losing their child support. Don't forget to drop a comment, make sure you subscribe if you are new, and let's jump into the video.
Let's piss some people off. So, I have seen this over and over and over again, and I'm really kind of sick of it. Especially working a bar for 22 years. A lot of men, and I'm not saying all men because that's just ridiculous and it's rude. I have known some stand-up fathers, men. I've known a lot of them, and good people.
But far too many times, fathers are hated simply for being fathers. Not all men doesn't actually change that.
But I've also noticed that a lot of men will have girlfriends that have children, and they feel that the father of said children should absolutely be paying child support. Absolutely. But when it comes to the mother of that man's children, child, whatever, they shouldn't be getting child support because they're just a bunch of money-hungry whores. And
that's an oversimplification. Men shouldn't be responsible for children that quite honestly aren't theirs. Like, this is completely ridiculous.
They're just gonna take my money and spend it on whatever and blah, blah, blah. What is that exactly? I mean, Lord forbid that in this economy that a decent mom might actually need some help. That she's not going and paying bar tabs or blowing the money on things that are not actually important, but is completely using that money for the children.
We have seen too many examples of single mothers using child support money on themselves. I think a lot of guys understand that if they're paying child support money, oftentimes it doesn't actually go towards the child at all.
Or to keep a roof over their head. Like, what is it? Is it as long as you're sleeping with her, it's okay if she gets child support? I just, that's gonna ruffle some feathers, and I'm sure all kinds of, I don't give a shit because I have seen it. And it's just, no. So, yeah, hope y'all are having a good one.
If a man must pay for a woman's children in order to be with her, I mean, that's not even a relationship at that point. You're essentially just subsidizing her kids.
So I've been seeing a lot of men cover that new child support Trump shit about how if you put your baby dad on child support, that you can't claim your child under taxes, only the father can. And a lot of men is like, oh, that's right, because if you're taking care of your child for the whole year, why she get to claim the baby on taxes? Bitch, newsflash, a lot of you motherfuckers that's in them comments and acting like y'all father of the year, how many thousands y'all behind?
She's using an extremely specific example that doesn't actually apply to what's happening.
What woman you know, and I'm talking about a woman in her right mind, has a baby dad that helps with them kids, co-parents well, cause no problems, and they running down to the law for some help? What the fuck do she need help with? Being nice, bitch? Y'all so happy, but you gotta understand you're going to have to cash out in order to cash in. So, bitch, if you're doing what you're supposed to do and meeting me halfway, I wouldn't give a fuck about no income, like claiming no child, and I'm just being all the way real. I've been paying business taxes for the past 4-5 years any goddamn way. I wasn't getting much back. Do your part, though. Don't make it so hard on me, though. Who gives a fuck? Not me. Because I guarantee you, a good man ain't on child support, baby. He just not. And if he is, he don't know how to work the system and prove that he do his part. Because, bitch, they not going to put you on child support for just anything. But,
I don't know how many times I've had to say this, but the courts have demanded that fathers pay child support to unfit mothers all of the damn time. If you're a single mother and you lose custody, that is such a rarity. Like, you have clearly done something extra wrong.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I have probably the biggest news that you've probably heard yet to date. So, Miss Misuse is running for office, and not only is she running for office, she has drafted a legislation to be signed by the populace to end alimony and child support. All she needs is the guys to sign it. What this means is child support and alimony are most likely going to be coming to an end.
Alimony and child support have been nothing short of a complete racket. It definitely needs to change.
And we're not talking on a state level. We're talking on a congressional, U.S.-wide level. So, and mind you, she, the woman, has understood and seen the facts and has decided that this is a serious, serious, serious problem. And the best way to fix the problem is to end child support laws and end alimony.
These are serious problems. Far too many men have been taken advantage of by this.
So the alimony, everyone is 100% behind, pretty much, except for the ladies who are being paid alimony. There is no logical reason for me to continue to pay for your lifestyle after you decide to leave to go hang out with Chad and Tyrone. Okay? I get that. Maybe an initial alimony of help you move out.
If she's divorcing you, she should forfeit any financial rights to her ex's money. The fact that these women even, can potentially get money in the first place is just disgusting to me.
But if you decided to leave, That is on you. The child support. So now child support is going to be 100% voluntary. Right? The guy can then choose whether he wants to pay it or not. And the argument being cited is the woman gets to choose whether she gets to keep the child or not without any say from the man. And then they look at the number of men who are abused by the child support system. So, single mothers who decided to not stay with the father, you might want to course correct. This isn't something you get to have a feeling on. You're going to want to course correct. Thanks.
Unless child support money is going directly to supporting the child, it shouldn't exist. And to be honest, I don't even think it should exist in the first place. If the woman can't financially take care of the child, she shouldn't have it.
So does this mean parents will now split custody 50-50 and support the child 50-50? If so, I'm okay with it. Yes, actually, that is the literal thing men have been fighting for. That's the desired outcome. And the reason why all these laws are changing, it is near impossible for men to get anything close to like 70-30, never mind 50-50.
The family court system was designed to fleece as much money from men as possible. It really is that simple.
With this, yes, it will be supporting the child 50-50. It would also mean if you decide to leave, let's say your husband, there will be no support following you. If he decides to leave her, well, and he gets the kid, there will be no support following him, right?
This is completely fair, as it should be. Men shouldn't be punished in a divorce for no reason.
So my question is, why do women get so mad when it comes to questions about child support? Like, let's be honest. Anytime there's a question of a man asking why doesn't his kids have this or have that, why do women feel so attacked? Explain that one to me.
It's because they don't want the world to know that their child support isn't actually going to the child at all.
So everybody pay attention, because there is a new law that actually passed through Congress, and you probably haven't heard about it. So this law is designed to do two major changes. Now, a couple pieces of it got shot down by Congress, but there's two major changes. So what they're doing is called a pass-through law, which basically means if she is on some sort of welfare or something like that, the state would hold on to the money for a set period of time, allowing them to invest it. Because right now, being on the welfare and things actually costs the states more than the money is bringing in. And so they want to do this to encourage women to get off of these support programs, because child support doesn't bring in enough money if they're using these support programs. and then eventually pass it through to the parent. And if the parent ever comes off of these welfare programs, they get direct 100% income, and the state doesn't take anything out anymore.
It sounds like the free ride is over if welfare is preventing them from getting child support.
All right, mommies, listen up, because Texas just raised the stakes on custody interference. So they now have a 3-strike rule, meaning 3 strikes of custody interference and you're out. Or I guess in this case, actually in state jail for a felony. So the first offense, misdemeanor, $500 fine. Second offense, you are on very thin ice. The third offense, it is now punishable for up to 2 years behind bars. Okay, the twist is that this isn't just about criminal court. This is not just about charges in a criminal proceeding.
It's good to know that the courts are sticking up for the kids this way. Kids need their dads, in my opinion.
Family courts can also use these violations, okay, to flip custody to the other parent or award the cutoff parent double makeup time, attorney's fees, all the things that you would typically see in an enforcement of possession and access. But they are cracking down, okay? Some say this finally gives dads real protection when they've been shut out of the kids' lives, okay? And others say it punishes moms who are just trying to keep their kids safe. But if you ask me, I think that most moms who are withholding for safety reasons are not the first ones to have the money to hire an attorney and file a modification and let the judge know what's going on if CPS has already ruled out the allegations. Okay, so this is a very real scenario. I'm not saying it's every scenario where a mom or a parent is withholding the child from the other parent.
We have seen far too many cases of mothers using their children as weapons in court.
But I think that this law could definitely hit the most vulnerable the hardest if they find themselves in those cases, right? Also important, only custody interference charges that happened after September 1st, 2025 will count towards the 3 strikes. So they're basically giving people a clean slate, okay? So what do you think about this? Do you think that it's definitely going to hold parents accountable? Or do you think it's another law that's just going to drag more families into court? Let me know your thoughts.
The law will never actually be perfect, but dads shouldn't have to fight this hard for custody.
All right, so allegedly, Anthony Edwards just paid this woman, his baby mama, 18 years of child support up front to avoid dealing with her and all her drama. Drama means every single time she gets angry, she'll go file for an increase in support. Every time he gets a new business deal, she's going to go file for an increase in support. Once he has a new woman, she's going to go file for an increase in support. Once he has a baby with that new woman, she's going to go file for an increase in support. If he ever wants 50-50 custody, she will fight tooth and nail because that will be going against her check, her only source of income.
Child support is just a weapon to her. It has nothing to do with actually supporting her own child.
So he decided with his little crystal ball that he would avoid all the BS and set an example for all young men on how to remedy this situation. If she threatens you before your baby even takes his first breath, go see a lawyer and have them tell you how much money you'll be paying every single month based off of your income for child support. Then go get yourself a loan and have that same lawyer represent you in family court so you can pay 18 years up front and save yourself the drama, mental anguish, stress, threats, the thoughts of unaliving yourself, and walk away with your peace.
Paying it all up front is a 4D chess move, but it shouldn't even have to go that far, to be honest with you.
Because at least when you're making those monthly payments back to the bank for that large loan you took out, the bank will not tell you ain't shit. They won't tell you that little bit of money you're paying back ain't shit. They can't threaten to increase your payments, and they cannot interfere with your new relationships. And the bonus is that you'll be getting a better credit score because you'll be making your payments on time every month. Then you'll be able to say, you have discipline, experience with loans and managing your money, and when that child turns 18, you can teach that child how to manage their money and their lifestyle as well. But just don't make this mistake more than once because you're not going to be able to afford to take out more than one loan.
That's only if the bank will approve a loan for child support. That seems rather risky.
Very little women complain in my comments about paying child support, but you know what they do say? I'm independent and I decided that I didn't want child support, so I declined it, which actually isn't your decision to make. If you are independent and don't need the support from your ex, fucking great. Bravo. Whether you're a male or a female, good for you. I'm glad that you can pay your bills without the help of anybody, just you. But this decision actually isn't yours to make.
You don't deserve a gold star simply because you can do the bare minimum in adult tasks.
So what I would suggest doing is taking the child support, because it's your kid's child support, that is legally their right and moving it into a bank account, maybe a high interest savings, and collecting it and keeping it in there, and invest it, do whatever you want to do with it, put it into an RESP, or keep it so that they can do whatever they want to do with it when they get out and move out on their own.
How is it that we never see videos of single mothers bravely declining child support payments? I don't think I've ever seen that a single time.
Maybe this could be a good down payment for them, for their first condo or their first house, or they could go traveling with it or do whatever the fuck they want to do with it. But it is nobody's choice to decline the child support. Period. It's just not your decision to make. And the child support guidelines, the federal child support guidelines, are set up in a way to not make parents go broke. They're set up in a way to be fair and based on their income and how much they're earning.
That's an outright lie. There are countless men who can say how unfair child support laws are.
And it just blows my mind that people think that, oh, I don't want to make him broke. Well, maybe he shouldn't be driving that lifted fucking truck then. The lifted long box, extended cab, I don't even know what the terms are. But what I do know is it's a shitload on gas. And then you're like, oh, I don't want to make them broke. No, dude, like people can afford what they're going to afford. This is what, I have something else to say about that. You choose what you're spending your money on, okay?
Is she saying that men are going broke because they're buying lifted trucks? I mean, I would consider that to be pretty ignorant.
Whether you have $1,000 or $10,000, you'll make it work. Pay your fucking bills, pay your fucking child support, and collect it from your ex, because it's not your right to just decide not to. It's actually meant for your kid, not you.
If she really does feel that way, why doesn't she just give the money back to her ex? She will never actually do that, of course.
Can someone tell all the baby moms that are always complaining about their deadbeat baby dads that them relying on social services like their child support payment also makes them a deadbeat? There's so many women on this app that are crying about the amount of child support they get or that they don't get it at all. But why is it that you can't afford life without said child support? And if you can't afford life without child support, then give them to the father.
They complain because child support was supposed to be their chief source of income. I think many of these women actually disband their families and go through divorce and everything simply because they're financially incentivized to do so.
There's so many women that are so hell-bent on the number that they're getting monthly that they don't even worry about the quality time that they're getting with their own kids on their parenting time. To the point where when the first of the month comes, it's like, where's my money? So who's the real deadbeat? If you're a woman constantly with your hand out talking about, oh, the kids need this, the kids need that, oh, it's this much for that, who is the real deadbeat?
It's tough to feel sorry for someone who broke up her family and then is whining about her payday.
You're solely reliant on somebody else paying your way. But yet, y'all aren't ready for that conversation.
They don't want to have that conversation because at the end of the day, they just want their court-ordered money to live the lives they think they deserve. Make sure you click on one of the videos on screen now to watch more if you liked today's video. Don't forget to take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.